Hello everybody. Oh, hang on. I should have sat up first. I didn't think this through. Oh, now look. If you guys, certainly for the English viewers, I don't know if they had these in America during the 90s. Oh, gotta put that pillow up there because they're every parent takes the picture of, baby in the bath and all that sort of stuff. So put the pillow up there. Anyway, these bad boys in the background. Did you guys have these growing up? I don't know what happened to mine. In one of the houses that we lived in, we had mice, and we lost quite a lot of stuff that was kept in the loft. So I suspect that it probably got chewed by a mouse, because I know both got kept. So I think they must have. Anyway. When I saw them in the toy shop, I was like, oh, I have to have one. So the reason that we have two is because one is Amelia's and one is mine. And they're the puppy surprise ones. It's just the weirdest toy. And the puppies come out the tummy. Did you guys have these? And you don't know how many you're going to get. You can get between I think 2 and 5. Oh. The rest of hers aren't in there. I think we both got 3 each. Anyway. Very strange concept for a toy. But it was just the best thing since sliced bread when I was a little girl. And when I saw it, I just couldn't resist. So that's why they're there. Haven't done my hair today yet. Haven't done my makeup. Looking in like a state. But I know you guys are always very forgiving of that. So... Oh look, just read the t-shirt. Be nice. I've been out of hospital for a month now. It has been very up and down. Very up and down. I went an entire week last week without any medication, which was absolute hell. I went into withdrawal because I've been on morphine for so long. And just... it stopped overnight. All of my medication, everything, and it was absolute hell. It was a living hell. It was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. I was there were times when I was just groaning, and because it feels like your skin, it feels like there's worms underneath your skin that are crawling around, and it is the pain. I'm used to pain. I live with pain. I'm in pain all the time, so I get pain. I can do pain. But this was out of this world. It was horrendous. It was just awful, and it's the fatigue, the pain, the sickness. Oh my gosh, the sickness. I think it was 15 hours straight. I was throwing up every 10 minutes for 15 hours. It was horrendous. It was awful. I couldn't feed because I was being sick, and I felt really sick. So I went for 5 days with no feed. And obviously I'm only living on 1,000 calories a day anyway, so I've not exactly, got much in the way of reserves. Oh my gosh, it was just hell. It was absolute hell. And all week, all I did was either watch sermons or listen to worship music. I just had to lean on my faith so much. And was praying really hard, praying out loud. Just sort of trying to get through every hour and just thinking, oh, sorry, I just dropped my phone, sorry. Just thinking if I can get through this minute, if I can get through this minute, if I can get through this minute, rather than being oh, I've got to get through the whole of today, because that was just too big. That was just way too big. I was feeling so unwell that the idea of getting through a whole day was just horrendous, and I couldn't do it. So I was literally focusing on a minute at a time. And certainly with watching the sermons, if they were like an hour and a half, then I knew at the end of that, I'd got through an hour and a half. I wasn't sleeping. My insomnia was really bad, so it wasn't just like during the day, it was overnight as well. And I watched loads of worship on YouTube, and I was listening to loads of worship on Spotify, and I was, like I said, I was praying really hard. And I think it sort of renewed me in my faith almost, because I lean on my faith enormously. And I go to church, you know, I go to church on Sunday. I don't know if you guys know that, but I do. I go to like a little independent church. I used to go to the Church of England, but it just did nothing for me spiritually, which sounds really awful because I grew up in the Church of England. And there is a really big place for all of that tradition and, you know, using the same service books and stuff like that, and the people are amazing, you know, they're really, really lovely, and it was really hard to sort of decide to stop going there, because they're all so incredibly supportive, but it was just like draining my spirit rather than feeding it, you know, singing hymns that were written like 80 years ago. And the church that I go to now, they do all modern worship music, and there's not like, it's not the same set service book every single week, you know, it's far more freeing, it's far more, look, sorry, I've just realised how filthy the back of this pillow is. It's obviously been stood on or something. Should we just flip it over quickly? Let's flip it over. Whoop, there. Let's have the zebra. Yeah, so I stopped going to the Church of England, which, like I say, it was really difficult because I loved all the people there. But the church that I go to now are really, really lovely as well. I've started going on a Wednesday as well. There's this tiny little group that meet on a Wednesday morning. And I've only been once because then I went into withdrawal and it was just horrendous. I didn't go anywhere all week. But the week that I went, it was really lovely, and I'm gonna, you know, that's gonna become a regular occurrence. And we were praying for people in the church. We sang some hymns, and there's like Bible study as well. And I think, like, when you're disabled, when you're chronically unwell, when you're in pain all the time, maintaining a Christian faith is really difficult. And I think religion has a lot to answer for. I think there's a huge difference between religion and having a faith and being a spiritual person. And I would refer to myself, yes, I am a Christian, and yes, I am spiritual, and yes, I have this enormous faith, and yes, I go to church. However, I do not agree with a lot that religion has to answer for. I think if you look back through history, there's actually not always that much of the Bible in organised religion anymore. It's been so interpreted by people that actually, if you look in the Bible, it's really clear. It's really black and white.